What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi. I'm fixing wires because I'm clearly not prepared. And you guys are listening to episode 604. That's right, guys. 604. I don't know how many years this is, but it's a lot of years. And we're having a good time. And we're getting better. And we are getting guests into the New York studio, which I think you guys are liking. Shout out to Hannah Berner, who was on the last one. I thought that last one was really interesting. I had a great time with that one because I did not know that she was a tennis star at the University of Wisconsin. I did not know that she got hit by a car. I did not know that she was like cold calling and sales and doing all that rough shit. And then now getting into stand-up, and now she's an internet sensation. But like I said, she's super, super cool. So thank you all for watching that and sending messages and comments. Continue to do so. Check out those clips. The Virzi Effect is growing, man. We got more sponsors and shit. So it's great. And I thank you guys, of course, for all of that. Speaking of the sponsors, this sweater, you know, is it True Classics or whatever it is, but dude, this shit is comfortable. Anyway, I got a great show, great 604 for you guys today. A lot of stuff to talk about, man, and this is going to be just an honest show. I always want to be honest with the show. But I'm finally feeling better. My back is better. I'm not going to lie, guys. The beginning of January or the first month of this year has not been great for me. Last week of December and basically the first 3.5 weeks of January. Actually, yeah, 3.5 weeks of January were really shitty. But before I get into that, I want to thank everybody who came out to see me at Mohegan Sun. The shows were great. I think both shows Saturday sold out. We're very, very close. So I want to thank all of the fans that were there. I also want to thank everybody who sold out Uncle Vinny's for me last Saturday. It was sold out, and Friday was almost sold out. There was only a handful of tickets for Friday, and Saturday was sold out days in advance. So if you were down there in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and you came out to the show at Uncle Vinny's, it was my first time there. I love the room. It's a small, intimate, but still awesome room for comedy. And I had such a great time there. So thank you all for coming out to Uncle Vinny's. I'm not going to lie. When you hear the name Uncle Vinny's, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, you're a little skeptical. Where am I going? It's a beach town, whatever. It's South Jersey. Is this going to be a bunch of animals? And listen, for the most part, it was. It's a BYOB. People are bringing fucking White Claws to the, you're on stage and people are just unloading a 12-y of White Claws. Yeah, it's a little shitty and trashy, but great people and great crowds. So thank you guys so much for that. Now, yeah, this has been a rough year. Also, I want to say thanks to everybody who bought tickets for the Den Theater in Chicago. There's only a handful of tickets for the 7. The 9:30 was the one that was almost sold out first. Now the 7:30 is almost completely sold out from what we're seeing on the map. And there's a handful of tickets left for the 9:30 or the 9:15, whatever. Either way, it's going to be amazing. It's a little less than a month away. February 24th at the Den Theater. I'm going to be rocking out an hour of new material other than the Netflix special. We're going to be doing another taping, another special. And I can't wait to do it in that great city with those great people. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, where else do we have? Oh, yeah, the Troubadour. If you're listening to me from Los Angeles or California or anywhere in San Diego, California, anywhere you could drive, I will be part of the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival. Honored to be one of the comedians there. It is going to be a comedian takeover from, I think, May 2nd to May 12th. 10 days, venues, all this stuff. I will be at the Troubadour, the legendary Troubadour rock venue in Los Angeles, California on the Late Show Friday, May the 10th. And then the next day, me and Bobby Kelly are doing a live bone to pick from the Red Clay Comedy Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. So I have a crazy busy May. I hope to see you guys there. More shows are coming. Go to paulvirzi.com. We're adding shows all the time. And there you have it. So I got a story for you guys, man. And this is one of the craziest things that have happened to me all year. Or I should say, I mean, through 2023. I mean, this is one of the craziest things that's happened to me in my career as far as being a performer. Okay. I am performing at Mohegan Sun, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I have one show Thursday at 8 o'clock. I have one Friday at 8 o'clock. And then I have two on Saturday. Now, we do the show on Thursday night. And it was my first time really running the hour after the holidays. So, you worry if you're going to be a little rusty. It's like I've done spots during the holidays. I've been running around, doing spots, but this is the first time that I am, really running an hour after Christmas, New Year's, the whole deal. Now, for some of you guys that didn't know, I could not walk with my back. I couldn't walk. It happened 2 days, a day before New Year's Eve, like I had mentioned. It was truly one of the most painful, weird experiences. I couldn't fucking walk to the bathroom. It was horrible. So I find out that I re-herniated a disc, and my back was compensating on one side for the injury. And then after, it just gave out because it couldn't do that anymore. And it sucked. So I'm dealing with that. And then I'm like, what else? I had to deal with that shit. I had the flu right before Christmas. And I'm going, all right, January will be better. Then fast forward, I'm at my first headline weekend, Mohegan Sun. We do the show Thursday night. My opener, Tyler Horvath. Shout out to Tyler. Tyler will be there with me at the Den Theater in Chicago opening up. So Tyler and I do the show. It's one show on Thursday night, 8 o'clock, and we leave there. I'm not going to mention names of restaurants. I'm not going to mention anything because I don't want to get anybody in trouble because I don't really know how or what happened or when it happened. But around 9:40 at night, I said, dude, let's go eat. So we're looking for restaurants. We find a restaurant. We get a bottle of wine. And we shared a platter of something for two people. They were like, the waiter was like, if you get this, it's like family style. So it's plenty of food. So we eat the same things. Okay. There were some sauces that they gave to us in those little saucers that they put on the thing. And, there's a horseradish sauce. There's a this sauce. There's a that sauce, a brown sauce, a white sauce, whatever. Now I had a sauce that Tyler did not have. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. So I am back at the hotel room around midnight, 12:30, and around 2 o'clock in the morning, my stomach is a little fucked up. My stomach is a little rumbly. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't settle down. Long story short, not to be gross, don't listen to this if you're eating, but I go to the bathroom. Number 2, a little bit of diarrhea, if you want to say. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'll be okay now. I go back to bed. 2 hours later, I wake up with the clammy sweats, run to the toilet, and I am vomiting violently. And when I tell you violently, I must have thrown up 7 times with the body lunges. It was horrible. And everything that Tyler and I ate is just coming up. Oh, did I mention while this is happening, now I have to have diarrhea again. So guys, I'm shitting, puking. It was so bad that I don't even know how to describe what was happening to my body, but whatever I ate, whatever sauce that was that Tyler didn't have, that's the conclusion we came up with. Okay. I am miserable. I am fucking miserable. I'm shitting. I'm puking. I'm shaky. I'm achy. Then the puking stops, and I'm like, okay, maybe that was just a quick little thing that had to get out of my system. Let me go back to bed. Almost 5 in the morning, I get up, diarrhea. Now I'm throwing up 5, 6, 7 more times violently. Now I start to feel better, and I'm like, it's done. I go back to bed. I start to sleep, wake up with the sweats, 8 o'clock in the morning, run to the toilet, throw up 9 different times at 8 in the morning again. Now all the food is up. I got nothing in my body. No more diarrhea, no more vomit. Now I'm dry heaving. It's an absolute nightmare. So I go to sleep for a little bit. I wake up around 11. I'm shaky. I call. My wife was like, you need to call. I'm like, babe, I got food poisoning. Now, mind you, I have a show tonight. I have a show this night. So now it's 11 a.m. I've thrown up everything I could throw up. I've shit everything I could shit. My body has nothing in it. I'm not going to lie, I lost some weight, but I'm completely a mess. I'm sick, shaky, all this shit. So my wife's like, you need to have Tyler drop off like Gatorade or crackers. So I hit up Tyler. I'm like, dude, are you in the casino? Or are you out and about? What's going on? He's like, yeah, I'm just, doing something real quick. And I felt bad. The kid's like, plays poker. He crushes it at poker. I don't want to fuck that up. But if I don't drink some water or some Gatorade or some crackers, like I don't want to fucking faint or pass out dehydrated in his hotel room. So he shows up. He brings me some vitamin water, some whatever crackers he could find. Because I couldn't really move. Like I was gonna tell him just drop it at the door, but he literally just handed it to me through the crack. And he's like, let me know. I said, dude, I'll let you know about tonight. So I take a little sip. I'm laying in bed. I'm a mess. And now I got to strategize about the show. By the way, if you were at the show Friday, you obviously have no idea about this, but this is what was going on. So, first time ever on the road with food poisoning, first time ever having to perform sick, first time ever dealing with this. Usually it's the day before, the day after. Sometimes timing works out. No, not on Paulie's first weekend of 2024 or headline. And no, no, no. This was just a full-on fucking shit show, literally. And I get to what happened? I get to about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, no more throwing up. So now I'm about 3 hours, no throwing up, still going to the bathroom. Whatever could come out of me is coming out of me. I sip the water a little bit. I sip the the vitamin water. I try to take whatever bland shit I could eat just so I do that. Now it's like 3, 4 o'clock. I still haven't thrown up. And I start to get the slightest bit of energy. Still feel like shit. On a scale of 1 to 10, now went from a 1 to maybe a 2.5. But I'm like, look, it's 5 o'clock. I can't cancel now. And I found out the numbers were good. There's people buying tickets. There's people coming to the show. There's people messaging me on Instagram going, we're coming to the show. So now I'm like, look, here's what I need to do. I need to time my diarrhea. Okay, I need to time these shits because I clocked it to where if I had diarrhea, I didn't have diarrhea for maybe another hour and 30 minutes. So I got like 90 minutes between diarrhea sessions. This is what I'm thinking at least, okay? And no puking now for 5 hours. So it gets to 6 o'clock and I'm like, Paul, you got to put yourself in a hot shower, see what happens. So I get in a hot shower, washing up, getting ready for the show, still feeling like shit, lightly sipping vitamin water, crackers, all that stuff. I get down to the show. I'm in the Tyler. I was going to wait for him. I was like, buddy, I just got to go to the green room and sit. I'm sitting down in the green room and I just got my head down and, Tyler's ordering dinner and they're like, what do you want? And I was like, can I just get bread? And they're like, we don't just have bread. We got like a hamburger bun. I go, just give me a hamburger bun. I go lightly toast a hamburger bun. And I say to Tyler, I go, dude, I go, you got to watch me on stage for a little bit tonight. I said, if I faint or pass out, I said, I'm completely dehydrated. To be completely honest with you guys, and I'm not joking, I should have went to the hospital and got put on IVs, but I just didn't want to take that chance because I knew if I went to the hospital with food poisoning, there was a way that they're going to say you can't perform. And, I'm not like that. I don't want to do that. Plus, with all the shit that happened at Gramercy on New Year's, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking start my year at Mohegan Sun Casino, have people buy tickets, come do, and now I got to do that too. Like I'm not doing that. By the way, I got a big announcement that I'm only going to give to you guys for Gramercy right now. But so I say to Tyler, dude, if I fucking faint or pass out, just get me out of there. If I feel like I'm gonna throw up, just have a bin in the back. I'll run backstage. I'll throw up. I'll try to drink some water and get back on stage. Um, so he goes, no problem. I take little bites of this hamburger bun. I go out and I do the show. And after about 5-10 minutes, I was lightly sweating. And now I start to get my energy because my adrenaline is like, you're going to get through this shit. You got to be funny for these people and you got to give them you. And I did. I did. I went out there. I did the hour. They have a clock, and like in a casino, how it works is you're strict on time. So there's a clock and they go, if you go a minute over this, we're starting the next venue. Like you got to fucking do your time, which was fine with me because I just wanted to do my time and get back to my hotel room bed. So I do the show. It goes well. Tyler was like, you're fine. So I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't hang tonight. I can't do anything. I said, I got to go back to my hotel room. I'm just going to go get a ginger ale to kind of settle my stomach and go to bed. Dude, I get this ginger ale. I go back to my bed. I take some sips of the ginger ale. I'm laying in bed. And all of a sudden, my body starts trembling. I'm trembling and I'm shaking in bed uncontrollably. I don't know why. And then I found out what it was my body was so weak. So when I did the hour, it was all adrenaline and it was all me just digging deep to get whatever I can out of me to get through the show. So when I came down from that, my immune system and everything was so shot that my body just started trembling. So I drank some water. I did whatever I could do. I took a couple bites of something because now I know that I'm not going to throw up. Fell asleep, slept for 7 straight hours, woke up 1,000 times better. And then we banged out 2 monster shows on Saturday night that were pretty much sold out. And I got through it. But I will tell you people this, if you have not had food poisoning, be on alert with that shit. Okay. Watch what you're eating. Find out how old it is. If it looks funny or tastes funny, spit it the fuck out. I got to tell you something, man. I always say you don't wish that on your worst enemy, but then I'm like, yeah, you do. They're your worst enemy. That is something that is not fun. I think it's the first, maybe second. One time I ate once and I threw up after I ate, but it wasn't like an all day thing. So I think that this was my first bout with food poisoning ever. And it was as bad as advertised. And I'm just really, really thankful that I got through it. And then Saturday morning, I felt good. We went for a light breakfast. I had to obviously eat light for a while. I lost about 5-6 pounds, and which is good because I'm gearing up for the for some acting. I'm gearing up for the special. I'm doing all that shit. So I'm just keep it going. Have not drank alcohol, and that's pretty much it. So I got through the show, and I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but that was one where I'm like, all right, man, that was good work ethic right there because it was really close. It was really close. If I would have thrown up anytime after 2 p.m. or 3 p.m., I probably wouldn't have been able to do the show. But since it was like so many hours before that, I was like, let's get through it. But now, guys, I'm hoping, knock on wood, stomach is better. Going to physical therapy for my back. I have an amazing physical therapist. Shout out to Liz. She's building my back up strong. We're getting the disc better. I'm walking around better and all that stuff. So hopefully we could turn the 2024 year around after not the best January ever. For sure. But that was the one thing that I was like, all right. I remember Tyler going, well, at least you got a good story for the podcast because that'll be that's some good content. But yeah, and then people were like, that's your Jordan flu game. I'm like, look, man, Jordan wasn't doing that. Listen, I know Jordan was sick. I know Jordan probably felt bad. If Jordan was shitting and throwing up as violently as I was, and he did that. I mean, maybe he was. I mean, the game was in Utah, so he probably had more hours. So like I figured it out. If you get food, here's the one good thing about food poisoning is it kind of happens right away. So you're either going to have it for 12 hours or if it's really brutal, it could be up to 48. I don't know how somebody could deal with that. I don't know how somebody could deal with 48 hours of what I dealt with. I think mine was probably a total of somewhere between like 14 and 20 hours of hell. And then it was just like slow healing after that. But holy shit. But the show must go on. Paulie performed. Paulie showed up for the game. Now, guys, here's something that I'm going to talk about. I talked about it on Anything Better. I talked about it on other BetMGM shows. And I talked about it on a bone to pick because it was my bone. And you know what? I'm still not done talking about it. I'm going to talk about it here because when you know you're right, you know you're right. I don't think it's up for discussion. You guys can put what you want in the comments. I'm not going to read asshole comments anyway. Just so you guys know, if you guys say dickhead things in the comments, my producer goes through them. So if you're an asshole, nobody's going to read it and you're wasting your time. But if people have like normal debates, we'll actually look at it. But I don't think this is up for discussion. And I have to say, I disagree with you 1,000% if you don't agree with this. I'd also like to say, if you want another great rant, which is basically what I'm saying, go to my Twitter because Chris Mad Dog Russo said the same thing. I want to talk about this NFC Championship game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Okay. I know that people love Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell is one of those guys that you run through a wall for. I think Dan Campbell is a guy you want to go to war for. You'd walk through hell with this man. He's one of those motivational tough guys. Okay. But Dan Campbell made a crucial mistake multiple times in the NFC Championship game, and he cost his team the game. Maybe not the game. He cost his team a chance to go to the Super Bowl. He cost his team a minimum of an overtime appearance. And he also brought the 49er crowd into it. Folks, when it's 4th and 3 and you have a 14-point lead, okay, I'm going to say this again. When it's 4th and 3 and you have a 14-point lead in the second half of the NFC Championship game and you're on the road, the best way to shut a crowd up is to not let your fucking offense get stopped and a defense getting a 4th down stop on the road in an NFC game, NFC Championship game, a title game. Okay, a conference title game to go to the Super Bowl. Okay, after you have a 17-point lead and then San Francisco gets the ball starting the half and puts up 3, and now it's a 2-touchdown game. It's a 2-score game. A 14-point game in the NFL is quick. You can go get 7, and the next thing you know, panic starts to set in. But Detroit goes down, and they get to the 29-yard line. And you know something? I didn't even know this, but I don't want to hear this shit now where people go, oh, the bad kicker. First of all, the kicker kicked a 54-yard field goal the week before in Tampa. 54 on the road. He kicked in Tampa. Okay. His extra points were straight down the middle. He looked like, it looked like, hey, you're going to go bang a 40-something yarder. You have two chances. And Dan Campbell decided to go for it on 4th and 3. He doesn't get it. The crowd is going absolutely fucking crazy now, and a score by San Francisco makes it a touchdown game. That's exactly what happens. Momentum completely gone. Doubt sets in the players' minds. Listen, 4th and 1, maybe. 4th and inches and 4th and 1, okay. You got a good running back. You got a good play. You go get the yard. You do maybe a tush push. like the Eagles do. You do something like that. Goff snaps the ball. He jumps over, puts his hand up. He needed 6 inches, a yard, fine. On 4th and 3 from the 29 fucking yard line, you kick that field goal. You go back to 17. You erase the field goal they just got. It's 3 scores, and the crowd is at bay. It is 1,000% wrong what he did. I don't give a fuck if you meatheads are going to sit there and tell me, oh, I loved it. I loved it. And I don't love this argument. Oh, well, that's what he did all year. Well, it's not all year. It's not week 9. It's not week 11. It's not, it's not that. It's, you are minutes away. You are less than 20 minutes away from a Super Bowl. You get every point you can get. John Madden kicks it there. He's got ring. He's got a ring. Bill Parcells, 1,000% kicks it there. He's got multiple rings. Okay. You go back up 3 scores. Dan Campbell needs to stop this cowboy shit going, oh, this is what we did all year. This is who we are. This is our identity. That's stupid. That's stupid. I feel horrible for the people in Michigan and Detroit because they deserved better than that, and they deserved their team going to the first Super Bowl. They deserved it. They played good enough for it. Goff played good enough for it. Okay? I don't know what that kid Reynolds is doing dropping those balls. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He did it twice, too. Okay, 1 drop you get in the game. Big game, you think about running first. You get 1, maybe. You shouldn't in those games, and the real great ones don't. But you can't do 2, and you can't do it when it hits you in the chest, when your quarterback is doing everything he possibly can do. You can't do it. Okay? Guys, listen. I am not a football coach. I am a comedian. I tell jokes, sometimes in strip malls, sometimes in nice places. But I will tell you this. I watch a lot of football. I beat the book again by 17 games, and I just see situations, and I am going, you are up 14. You go up 17 right now. Now, let's say the kicker misses it. That he had another opportunity. So they did this 2 times on 4th and 3. Okay. So let's say he makes one and miss. I don't think he's going to miss both. I really don't think he's going to miss both. That would just be horrible luck, and that would be whatever. But I think he makes one of them, and he even looked up. If you watch the game, the kicker looked up and goes, wow. He was fucking shocked that they didn't go from the 29-yard line. You're looking at a 46-yard field goal. You're looking at a 40-something-yard field goal twice. If he misses one and makes one, you go to overtime. You got a shot for the Super Bowl. If he makes both, you win the game. All right? Going for this shit on 4th and 3 is as dumb. And the fact that, Twitter's backing him up because he got him this far and they won playoff games at home. And I get it. He's Dan Campbell. He's a tough guy, work ethic, blue collar. He made a fucking meathead call, period. That's all you could say. Those people deserve better. And people that know football know that that's right. Okay? People forget that a field goal is fucking half a touchdown, man. A field goal goes a long way. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. How many times do you got to hear Chris Collinsworth or this one or that one say, man, if they would have kicked that field goal in the second quarter, man, this would be a whole different game. I mean, don't people pick up on that? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, And Bill Burr, shout out to Bill Burr on Anything Better, who made a really good point. I agree with it 1,000%. He said, analytics does not count for momentum. Analytics doesn't count for when you're home and you're on the road and the crowd's getting nuts. Analytics doesn't know the crowd goes nuts on 4th and on a 4th down stop. I've been to MetLife Stadium with the Giants games, and you know something? When the opposing team goes for it on 4th down, that place gets loud. And guess what? When we get a stop or we get a sack or we get a knockdown ball or we get anything like that, the place goes nuts. And guess what? You don't think the offense feeds off of that? You don't think the offense is like, oh my God, our guys just got to stop. Let's go out there and get some points. Let's go out there and get some yards. Let's go out there and get some first downs. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Okay? It just is. And you could sit there, and I truly believe this from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not trying to be a dick. If you disagree with this, you are a fucking meathead moron who doesn't know football. You think that video games are real. You don't understand how it works. You just don't. So many things can go wrong. With a kick, okay. A kick, two things could go wrong. It either gets blocked or he misses it left or right. I get it. It's not a definite. But the majority of the time, a field goal in 40 yards in today's game, the majority of the percentages, it's going to be good. Okay. 4th and 3, you get a knockdown ball. You get an interception. You get a fumble. You get a drop. You get a fuck. All of these things. You could slip. You could do this. I mean, I know that they did that and it worked for them during the year, but you can't do it. So I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm done. I'm just saying that Detroit had that team done. Detroit had that team, or at least had that team where they could have been in the game late in the game with a lead and putting pressure on it. And then you don't know, then you don't know, because if it's a 3-score thing, okay, you got to understand this too in football. And I know I'm probably losing sports fans here, but I think I'm talking in as much layman's terms as I can for football. If you're down 3 scores, the offense is going to rush. If you're down 3 scores, Purdy's got to get down there quick, doesn't he? So maybe he tries to throw a tight one in there to Kittle or to Ayuk or to Debo. Maybe he tries to do something and makes a mistake. And all of a sudden, that's the other thing that Campbell needs to figure into that decision. You go up 3 scores. Now San Francisco's, they're scrambling. Now 2 scores, it's easy. Now they could take their time. They're looking at the clock. They're like, oh, 2 scores, man. We'll go down, get a touchdown, and then we put the pressure on them, and then we just need 1. That's how big of a difference those 3 points are. So I'll argue this till the death, and that's it. I am sorry to the people of Detroit, and I will tell you people this. Thank God that shit did not happen to my New York Football Giants, because if Brian Daboll did that shit, I would probably got arrested. If the Giants didn't kick there and they went for 2 4th downs and didn't get it, and the same shit happened, I would probably still be homesick. I would be an absolute wreck. And I know that that's ridiculous coming from a man who, who's beyond his 30s. When you hit your 40s and you say things like, if my team did that, but no, that would have really drove me nuts. That would have fucked me up bad. So again, my heart goes out to the Detroit Lion fans, and there's nothing, even the players can't control it. Oh, we love that guy, man. We go through anything. Well, that guy should have went to his kicker, who's getting paid good money, to go knock down a 46-yard field goal and go up 17 points in the 3rd quarter. That's what should have happened. So thank God it wasn't the Giants, because imagine how I would feel. I feel this bad for the Lions. I don't give a shit about the Lions. I would feel bad. I'll be honest with you. If that was the Jets, not the Jets. Not the Jets. The Jets, the Cowboys. Here are the teams that I really wouldn't care. Yeah, the Jets, the Cowboys, the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Mets, teams like that. When you do bonehead shit, I'm just like, but teams that any other team. If that was the Falcons, I would be. Listen, what happened to the Falcons in that Super Bowl? They're up 28-3 in the 3rd quarter. They lose the game. I mean, that's sickening. I mean, but not as bad as a decision. I think when you're an NFL coach, you got to have a couple things. You got to have somebody that you trust next to you, but just say, hey man, let's make sure clock management is right. Make sure I know the timeouts. I mean, I'm going to know as the head coach, but you got to have somebody there to help you with clock management. Let's make sure that we don't screw up clock management. Let's make sure we have things ready with the clock. Let's make sure that we do the timeouts at the smart time. Okay. And let's get points on the board. Just got to get points on the board. Again, I'll be at, where am I performing? Yeah. I'll be at Uncle Vinny's. Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy that I'm performing at a place called Uncle Vinny's and comedy clubs across the country, and I'm sitting here telling you what a guy who gets millions of dollars and lives and dies football would do. So what the hell do I know? I'll tell you what I did do though, and I loved. I watched the new season of Love on the Spectrum. Holy shit! This is the greatest show. This is the greatest show ever. I got home from Uncle Vinny's in the middle of the night, drove 2.5 hours to be home. And instead of going to bed, I just started watching binge watching episodes of Love on the Spectrum. These people, and I'm not making fun of these people, okay? We have people close to our family that have autism, neighbors and friends and stuff, so it's these people are amazing people. They're wholesome and they're sweet and they're funny and they're loving. It really is great. But, you can't say that it's not absolutely hilarious. I mean, the one kid, one of the funniest things I ever seen, I'm not even joking, was, and I don't know, I know people have jokes about this, but the one kid went on a speed dating and they give you a sheet and a pen and it says the person's name and then it says yes, no, or maybe. And this dude just was talking to this chick and she said something and he just looked down at the paper and he X'd no in front of her and she saw it. And then when she left, the guy holding the camera is like, hey, man, you might not want to. Are you marking yes and no in front of them? And he goes, yeah, should I not do that? He's like, yeah, you might not want to do that. He's like, damn it. Dude, it was the funniest shit because he just like, she said something and he just grabbed the pen and looked down and just X no. And then the camera showed her staring at it. But he ended up realizing that he did that too, as he said, too hasty. He was too hasty with that decision and called her and they ended up dating. And I think they're dating now. But holy shit. And she's like, oh, is there anything interesting about you? He's like, I have a sword collection. I mean, dude, these people are the best. Just the fucking best. One chick is trying to get laid. One chick is trying to get laid, dude. I'm not even joking. She's like, she bought this dude cupcakes so he could like practice like making out with the cupcake with his tongue so he could be a better kisser because he's never did it before. I mean, this chick is going for it. The show is so good. And then this one dude, older man, who I guess is on the spectrum, I guess successful, smart, successful guy, but he's on the spectrum looking for love. And this Israeli chick, this older Israeli woman, and she was like grabbing on him right away, really affectionate. And he goes, oh, wow, this is very forward. It's a great show, man. It's a great, I highly recommend. It because there's something like when you watch something, I guess, and it's rare these days, and I know this is going to sound weird, but like when you watch something pure, when you watch something pure and you watch um just honesty at the highest level, that's the one thing that I would say these people have, for better or for worse, just honesty. Like he just looked at the sheet while they were speed dating and just X no in front of her, and she just looked at it. It was you know, and they're very much like they break up right, like, yeah, this ain't for me, but good luck. I don't think I want to go. Like after the first date, they just look at each other, and one will be like, yeah, I don't know about a second date, be honest with you, but I'd like to stay friends. Like it's so not the norm that it's amazing. It's because people lie. Oh yeah, no, I'll give you a call. You never hear from them. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. I'm trying to think of the other person. The other person, there was the one guy gives me an anxiety attack. There's a guy from Boston or Massachusetts, and he gets me anxious because he doesn't stop talking. So he'll just he'll just say something and just keep going with it and keep going with it and keep going with it. And then I'll be like, I'm sorry, am I talking too much? And the person's just looking at him. So that one gives me anxiety because like there's just no social cues. But I highly recommend watching all the seasons because it is so great. I'm trying to think if I saw something else. Of course, I think I talked about American Nightmare, which is one of the best three-part series that I've ever seen. I can't even believe it, and it's incredible. Netflix really nailed it with that one. For sure, man. That one is, dude, it, what's crazy to me is that we are walking amongst some evil people every day. Every day. You know, you can you can go to Starbucks and there's a dude in there that's maybe raped or wants to rape, or like that's the craziest shit to me. And when you realize like what people can do, but the luck of this woman and what happened with this woman, it's Yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting softer as I get older, but like it's heartbreaking shit. It's heartbreaking shit, man. It's for people to do that to one another, or for somebody to do that to somebody is yeah, man, it's weird how isn't it, it's weird the contrast too, isn't it? Isn't it weird? Somebody could be so loving and caring and take care of somebody and give them clothes and give them money and try to help them and feed them and give to charities and do all these nice things. And then the opposite is somebody will like kidnap, rape, and murder people and just go eat a sandwich after. It's like it's so weird how both exist. And both existing to me means there's something higher than us. People, oh no, no, it's mental illness. Okay, whatever it is. But like it seems to me that there's good and evil, man. However you want to take that. It's just bizarre to me that somebody could do. Like when you watch somebody be evil like that, you're just like, how can you do that, man? Like um how can you do this shit? It's and I guess because we're getting so immune to seeing violence, like I talked about in another episode, like when you just scroll through and you see people being so shitty to each other, you're like, man, that person's fucking horrible, man. And I guess that's why I just fucked this up. I just broke something I shouldn't have broke. That's why animal videos do good. That's why, dude, a dog is the fucking best, man. All my dog wants to do is just lay down next to me, and then when I get up, he gets up. And then he's like, all right, there's a chance for a treat, which is awesome. But there's also a chance I'm going to go outside, which is awesome. Then there's a little bit of a chance we're going to go for a long walk, which will make his year. And then he's like, or maybe we go for a ride in the car, which I don't mind either. I mean, the dog is just down to chill. And my wife's not. My wife just yells at me. No. Um, I'm excited. I'm going to a wedding of somebody I love very much this week. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to give a best man speech this week. And I've done the best man speech before, and I've learned how to do it. And I think I told you guys, I think the best way to do it is you take a couple of bullet points from one of the people, you do a couple of bullet points of the other person. So the bride and groom, two nice things about them. Then maybe you throw a funny story and a funny couple of lines in there. Then you throw one sentimental thing that like makes everybody go, oh, and then you close it with either a lighthearted joke or a nice toast and you get out of there. You don't go on too long. You can't go on too long. He's like, yeah, remember the one time, we went to everybody, yeah, we went out to Vegas and whoa, dude. And then, but he was good. He was good. Like I'm not me. I was the fucking, but he was good. And he always was. You remember the time you remember, dude, I went to one, I saw one so bad. I'm not joking. I saw a best man speech so bad that he blanked out and looked at somebody else other than the groom and just picked out and goes, remember you shot an air ball in a basketball? I mean, I saw some some best man and bridesmaid, what's it called? Maid of honor, the brides, top dog, whatever you want to say. I seen some duds, man. Oh my God, I just love you so much. And it's like, oh my God, just thank you. I don't even know what I mean, fucking duds. Gotta say something, man. Gotta say something. Say something. You could wing that. You could wing it. You could actually on the way there be like, all right, what do I love about this person? Okay, I'm going to say that. Then what do I love about? All right, then we'll throw a joke in. I remember my older brother Christian was my best man. He gave a nice short and sweet. I love you. I'm so happy for you guys. I wish you guys nothing but the best. When I met Stacy, this and that, everybody raised a glass. Nice, but you can't make it about you either. There's those people. I remember I watched him and I said to myself, this guy's going to be something. I knew. No, no, you're about you, you narcissistic piece of shit. I feel like I'm missing a date. to plug here. But what the hell was it? I'm missing something. I don't know. All I know is this is episode 604. I'm going to have a guest next week. Got a great guest coming into the studio next week. But you know what I realized? You guys love the rants. You guys are reaching out to me going, Paul, I love you alone. And the other people are going, I love the interesting interviews with other comics. So we're just going to rock it like this. I'm thinking every other. I'm thinking 2 like this a month, 2 in the studio a month, like we talked about. Please tell a friend about the Virzi effect. Let them know if they like me, they could catch this. You know, maybe some people just want to catch the rant, but then you catch me talking to somebody. Whatever you guys want, I'm here for you. And I'm appreciative that you guys are here for me. I'm going to make a big announcement right now. The big announcement, we're making a video of it. And I was at the theater yesterday, the Gramercy Theater, making a promo video. But I'll tell you guys now, the makeup date for the Gramercy Theater show, which was supposed to be New Year's Eve, but because of a slew of issues, it didn't work out, and we are not going to compromise. But the new date, ladies and gentlemen, will be June 8th, Saturday night. It's not fully summer yet because the kids are still in school. So it's basically a nice day in the city. It'll be warm. Hopefully, June 8th, Saturday night, we are doing the Gramercy Theater. I did not announce this to the public. I just announced it to my podcast listeners, but it is not going to be out until probably next week. You guys know. If you have tickets, I made sure ticket prices were adjusted accordingly. So if you bought tickets, you can keep your tickets and you'll get a bit of a refund. You will get a bit of a refund because it's not New Year's Eve. And you still have your tickets and your seat. So you can do that. If you did not buy tickets because it was New Year's and you couldn't go because it was New Year's, well, now it's June 8th, Saturday night. You can go. It's New York City. You can enjoy a fun night on a warm time in New York City. You'll be out of there by 9:30. It's going to be an 8 o'clock show, I believe. I believe it's going to be an 8 o'clock show. But June the 8th, Saturday night. There you go, just for you guys. So if you got tickets, keep them. If not, tickets will be on sale probably within a week, but that's the date. And I know for a fact because I just shot a promo video for it, but you guys find that out first. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I'm not really making my Super Bowl pick yet because we will be at the Super Bowl. The Anything Better podcast will be at the Super Bowl. We will be out there, myself, my co-host Bill Burr, my producer Andrew Themlis. We got Michael Bertolina, who's the El Presidente of all things comedy out there. Club Soda Kenny's going to be out there. We are going to be in Vegas heavy on the Super Bowl week. So we're going to do a pick next week of it. But my preliminary, I guess my first thought will be that it's very, very hard now to bet against Mahomes and Kelsey. Would I like to see Mahomes and Kelsey lose? I don't hate on them. You know, I'm not one of these Taylor Swift hate that she's at the game. Believe it or not, guys, whether you hate the Taylor Swift thing or not, Taylor Swift is kind of helping the NFL. It's kind of a good thing. They don't overshow her. He had 11, 12 catches. They showed her like 4 times. Okay. They showed her when he got a touchdown. I kind of want to see a pop star that understands football and is rooting for her fucking boyfriend, her rooting for a man catching footballs in a big AFC Championship game. I don't mind that, man. Taylor Swift gets too much shit. Listen, if it's a political thing, that sucks. If they're trying to push shit like that, that sucks. But I'm talking strictly football. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it. I like Andy Reid. Like I said, the documentary Quarterbacks made me actually like Mahomes and his wife way more than when you see them the way that we see them. But if you kind of watch them at home and you listen to them talk, he's kind of cool when he's like, dude, I got to do something about my hair. I can't be a father walking around with hair like this. He's kind of funny. Seems like a nice dude. Do I want to see them lose? Probably, just because I met the owner of the San Francisco 49ers, and he was great. And I met some of the people at the San Francisco 49ers, and they were great people, man. And they were like, they kind of had a lot of nice things to say about Eli and the Giants, and they were a good people. So yeah, I'd like to see the 49ers pull it off. Um, but and I think talent-wise, they have the talent. I just don't know if they have the experience. I don't know if they're playing good enough right now. I'm gonna make my final decision next week, but right now I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. I think that Patrick Mahomes just in those moments and Kelsey in those moments just have a clicking vibe together that really works. And this Isaiah Pacheco kid, he runs really hard. They got that kid Rice at receiver is really good. The defensive line is underrated. Chris Jones. They got a good team, man. And they also have Andy Reid, who's been in big games so many countless times now. Yeah, and the line is basically a pick 'em at 2. I'm leaning towards Chiefs, but I'll make my final decision next week. Okay. So there you have it, guys. This has been the Virzi Effect podcast solo show, episode 604. I love you guys. Back is feeling better. Thank you all for the well wishes. Thank you for everything. I hope to see you guys in Chicago, February 24th at the Den. I hope you guys are loud, proud, and ready to go in there. So I'm going to lay down this material. We're going to have a great time that night, and it should be a lot of fun. So there's a handful of tickets left for both shows. So just tell your friends because it's going to be packed in there. Cannot wait. And we're going to Naples, Florida in March. We're Troubadour, May 10th. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia at the Earl on the 11th with Bobby Kelly for a live bone to pick. We have another date that we're working on for the weekend before the Den in Chicago. So until then, I'm out of here. Thank you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next week.